Is China going to attack? Are we seeing the rise of a new empire that will conquer the world? Everyone, the Americans in particular, are afraid of Chinese expansion. But that is not what's happening. And how do we know? Because history gives us a clear answer to China's intentions. And when you understand history, the future is not a mystery. And there's much more information about China, culture, and historical patterns on my Substack at culturalperspective.com. So the data is clear, and it shows that conquest, empire building, expansion, whatever you want to call it, takes five variables: a competitive culture, maritime capability, a multi state system, a universalizing ideology, and that's the driving factor with China, and the right timing. Europe had all five, and that's why small nations like Britain and Portugal conquered half the planet. During that same time, China had power, technology, and ships far beyond European capabilities, but it didn't have the ideology, the cultural driver for conquest, and it still does not. And that cultural difference is Confucianism. European empires were driven by universalizing ideologies: Christianity, Enlightenment, rationalism, and later capitalism. Expansionism was a moral duty for the Europeans and Americans. On the other end of the spectrum, Confucianism emphasizes hierarchy, order, self cultivation. Maintaining harmony within its borders is China's moralizing duty. The European worldview is outward looking and missionary. The Chinese worldview is inward looking. It sees itself as the cultural, moral, and political center of the world. In fact, the Chinese name for China is the Middle or Center Kingdom. So, the European and American cultural perspective of Christianity, in which people must go out and convert others, whether that be actual Christianity or capitalism, is the driving force. And Westerners assume it is universal. But Chinese Confucianism is the opposite. It believes others will come to it for enlightenment, and it does not need to project itself outward. And the historical patterns support this. Since the 1500s, Europe and later America have been expansionist. Since 2000 BC, China has, with very few exceptions, been content to stay within its borders. So, no, China is not going to attack. It is not going to create a new empire. It is not going to conquer the world. It will protect its borders, and that includes Taiwan and the South China Sea. So, America is preparing to defend itself against an adversary that simply doesn't exist, and China is preparing to trade with the world. What are your thoughts about China's intentions? Let us know in the comments.